right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cousins of the Cosmos podcast. Today, episode 65, we're sticking with the WrestleMania theme here because our last episode, we reviewed WrestleMania 19, and today we're going to review WrestleMania 20. So, Mr. Theo, do
Big
you have any
2-0.
you have any experience coming into this show?
No,
Not a single.
not a clue.
I do.
I mean,
because-
I guess I have seen Eddie and Kurt before, but I'm pretty sure that's the only match on this card that I've seen prior to watching this whole show.
Right. I have experience with this because, like I said, I had that. I think I still have it. That DVD box set that covered WrestleMania 2000 all the way to 220. This is the last one. So I've seen this WrestleMania a good bit. I always enjoyed it as a kid. Always had a fun time with it. So yeah, let's kick it off. We're a little behind here. We watched this a minute ago, so I'm already looking at my notes and I'm already kind of like, I don't remember.
My first note,
things, but
this was so funny because I'm in the exact same position. My very first note just says, "Whose baby is that?" That's the only thing it says. And I was like,
Oh, man.
"Wait, what?"
No,
and I
so
completely
think-
forgot. That was in like the intro package or something like that. It was like at the very end, and it was like Vince and Shane was just holding a baby, and I was like, "Whose baby is that?"
Right. Well, I would imagine that was Shane McMahon's firstborn. I would imagine.
I would hope so.
Which, fun intro. Even though I don't remember much of it, I do remember that part where it's kind of the whole tagline of this WrestleMania is WrestleMania begins again because it's been 20 years of WrestleMania. They're back in Madison Square Garden, so it's a very poetic, very anniversary-esque kind of vibe, which is really cool. So the intro kind of covers the history of WrestleMania, and then I guess that it is kind of a weird shot to end on with Vince, Shane, and the son, but I do understand what they were going for with the next generation has been born. You know what I'm saying? The next
Right.
McMahon has been born, which as of right now, currently none of Shane's
Does
sons
not
are
matter.
wrestling.
Does
Right,
not matter
that's also
whatsoever.
true. That's also true. But all right. Our first match here, though, for the United States Championship, Mr. John Cena versus it's a big show, Mr. Big Show for the U.S. title. John Cena's entrance, I just put the GOAT, man. This is the man, bro. This is the man. Good opening match, fun opening match. And there's one commentary line that I think Taz says that I thought was funny, where he just said something. I think he said something about Big Show smuggling plums, and Taz is the best, bro. Taz is the best.
He's always a good man.
And John Cena, weirdly, I have another note here because it's very random but cool. We know John Cena always has armbands, and especially now that he's retired and stuff, like he always has his own armbands. But here it was interesting. He came out wearing a Mario mushroom armband, which I thought was kind of cool.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that.
If you look at his arms, he doesn't have both. He only has one on like his left arm, and it's green. But when you look at it, it's like a green mushroom from like one of the Mario games, which I thought was pretty cool.
Okay.
Pretty cool. This is before he obviously, started wearing the wristbands kind of religiously, and before he had his own. So yeah, it was just kind of random but cool little thing. He had like a Mario mushroom sweatband on his arm, which is random but cool.
John Cena's entrance for me, I got to be honest, man. I get the whole rapper gimmick, and I think it's usually pretty fun. I thought these bars were lame as hell. I was like, this is the punniest, lamest kind of jokes he could be making. I really was not vibing with it. Big Show's entrance, when he came out and he just had his belt sitting on his shoulder like that, I'm like, that's kind of aura. That's kind of aura. I'm going to give it to Big Show for that.
Bro,
I
Big
fuck
Show,
with it.
this is something I just thought about the other day. He is so underappreciated, man. So underappreciated. One of the
He
best,
worked there for a good time, too. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
like almost like 20 years or so.
Oh, yeah. One of the best, if not the best big man to ever do it. And it's just like, when you look back, I don't want to go fully on a tangent. This is about WrestleMania 20. But
Right.
when you look at his career, man, like, he did whatever was asked of him, even if that included 50,000 face/heel turns in a month. But yeah, he just did whatever was asked from him, and he's always just solid, man. Always just solid. And I think, like, I was talking to Nova about this. It makes it even wilder when you think about, like, the now it's not as bad, but the travel schedule back then was so grueling. You were home 1 day a week, so you had 1 day a week to do whatever house stuff you have to do. But you're home 1 day a week. You're on the road the rest of the time. For someone of his size, bro, that's you're
Yeah.
either cooped up in a car or cooped up in a plane for days and days
Right.
and days, and it's like that thing is grueling for anybody, right? Even normal sized people talk about how that was the thing they hated about their WB run and all this stuff was the travel. I can't imagine for someone his size, bro, having to do that and then wrestle and dealing with whatever back pain or neck pain he's got. Just so underappreciated for what that man had to go through as a wrestler.
Right.
Yeah.
I also have written down here. I think his performance in the match, I would say, is probably the better of the two. He did this one thing where it was like this nasty chop that just knocked John down, and then he was just standing on John's back for a good moment there. I was like, that's just nasty work.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, overall great match. John Cena's first championship win in the WWE was here, so that's also cool, especially looking back
Big
now.
moment.
Never seen 17 and all the other accolades he's had, so it's a really cool. That's history right there, So, and this is his first. Technically, this is his first WrestleMania because the year before WrestleMania 19, we had talked about he did. He technically was on WrestleMania, but he wasn't. He was on Sunday Night Heat, so he was on the WrestleMania stage, but he wasn't officially on WrestleMania. So this is his first actual WrestleMania match.
Oh, that was another thing I wanted to bring up. The small character screen on the opposite side of the ring where it's in the background and you could see the guys in. I thought that was super cool.
Oh yeah, I love that. All right, next up. So Mr. Theo here doesn't have access to Netflix, so there's certain segments here.
There are certain segments. I have seen this. I have seen this next segment. Is this about the Evolution promo?
Yes.
Dude, this thing, I swear to you, it was put together like an attorney commercial. That's what I thought was the closest relevant thing to this promo. It was so funny.
But it was a good promo by Randy. I thought it was pretty good talking about Mick Foley and The Rock and all that stuff. Overall, it was a good promo. But yeah, it just kind of shot a little weird.
There was one camera change where it's pretty much looking at them the whole time, but then there was just this one side frame where Batista was just just looking completely to a 90-degree angle. I was like, that's fucking funny.
All right, next up we have a wild tag match for the World Tag Team Championships. La Resistance versus Booker T and RVD versus the Dudleys versus Mark Jindrak and Garrison Cade, or Lance Cade. I'm not sure which one he goes by here. Booker T and RVD have their own special theme, which is so bad.
Yeah, not good.
Booker's hair still. This is prime Booker T hair when he's got the dreads in the ponytail, the high top ponytail kind of deal.
Yep.
Still peak Booker T hair right there. Peak Booker T look. I wrote down title renders here, but I don't. Oh, so it's for the World Tag Titles, and they have the updated, kind of at the time, the updated with the kind of red in the middle and stuff. But they didn't have updated renders when it shows this is for the World Tag Title. It has the original tag title render, which I thought was funny. They hadn't updated that shit yet. And my last note here, I'm assuming it's I forgot who, but somebody from La Resistance. I think they were chanting USA, and one of them just goes USA my ass, and that was that. I just thought that was funny.
I only have one note for this match. It just says the Dudleys in yellow is awful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a normal match though. There's nothing normal about it.
Nothing very exciting or anything.
Right. There's another segment here. I don't know if you saw, but I hope you did see because it's.
I did.
Okay.
Does this have to do with the Christian Jericho match?
No. This has to do with Mean Gene Okerlund, Bobby Heenan, Mae Young.
No, I don't think I saw it. I don't think I saw that.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is incredible. All right, let me break it down for you. I think it's somebody. I think maybe it's Jonathan Coachman or something. I think somebody was looking for the Undertaker or something like that. I'm foggy on it, but they're backstage,
right,
looking around, and they come across this closet, and they hear a bunch of screaming, and what sounds like somebody's in pain, and so they go, okay, well, Undertaker must be in here. So they go to open the door, and the door opens, and Bobby Heenan and Mean Gene Okerlund come out, and they're all disheveled, and their suits are all messed up, and they have lipstick all over their face. and they're very confused and don't know what's going on. So they're talking to this person who, again, I'm assuming he's Jonathan Coachman, and they're like, "Hey, is the Undertaker in there? Are you guys okay?" And they're like, "No, no, no, no," and they're being very sly and very coy about what's going on, and just so funny. They're like, "No, no, we were in there playing poker." And Bobby Heenan just points to Mean Gene. He goes, "Yeah, yeah, he was dealing," which is so funny to be like that one random little line to add in there. He was dealing, and they're just trying to avoid the situation. And then out comes Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah, also all disheveled and whatnot. And yeah, they're trying to avoid the situation. Then they come out, and these two ladies decide they didn't have enough, and they decide to jump on Bobby Heenan and Mean Gene Okerlund and drag them back into the room, where again Bobby Heenan is just absolutely hilarious, like fighting for his life to stay outside of the room. And that's how the segment ends, and it is just so fucking funny. It is a great segment.
That is so wacky.
I have a note here that says, "Oh hell no, old people be fucking." So
Old people do be fucking. That's very true.
yeah, great segment. This is where you and I talked about it, man. Especially we're coming off of WrestleMania 42. This is this. I mean, it's wild to say, but like this is the stuff we missed, man. These segments are just so fun, man. So fun and ridiculous.
We did kind of get a good goofy segment there with Danhausen.
Right, that was about
and
it.
John Cena and the Miz and all that. That was about it, though. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next up, Chris Jericho versus Christian.
I fucking love the storyline for this match. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah,
but so good.
My notes here. I love both of their gears. I think Christian's wearing the white gear, if I'm correct.
Yep.
And Jericho is wearing something sparkly and cool that I also enjoyed. Great match. This is a really fun match.
Really good match. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And my other note here is the fun swerve at the end. A nice little changing of expectations at the end there. As
I got in all caps. Oh, this hoe ain't loyal.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the whole feud was over Jericho wanting to go out with Trish, and then Christian being like jealous that his friend isn't locked in, and so then they have the WrestleMania match, and then Christian wins, I believe, right?
Yes, Christian wins. Yeah,
Christian wins because Trish Stratus comes out and turns on Y2J, and not only does she turn on Y2J and cost him the match, I believe, she then also goes up to the stage with Christian and decide to play a little tongue hockey. So not only did she turn on him, she actually she decided to go with Christian, which is so ridiculous, but so good.
It's just fun WrestleMania stuff. This was a really good match, though. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm out of here. All right. There's another segment here, which again I'm hoping you got to saw. I'm not sure if you saw with the old.
I don't think so.
Oh man. All right.
Oh, so wait, The Rock?
Yeah, the Rock and Sock connection.
Yeah, I did see that one. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a nice segment here with, I believe, Lillian Garcia interviewing the Rock and Sock connection, and this is just Rock firing on on all cylinders. And I don't remember the whole idea of the promo, but he's like, he basically like, look around, Mick, look where we're at. And there's one part where they look, and down the hallway is Hurricane and Rosie having a conversation. Yeah. And Rock says something about Rosie. He says something like, "Go get some chicken nuggets, you fat bitch," or something like that. And it was just like absolutely insane. Like just no reason, just call this man out.
Yeah.
But then he does. So as you were saying, they have that graphic in the middle of the crowd with the superstars on it during the matches. Mm-hmm. This segment takes place behind that, which is like a doorway. So I thought it was really cool. Rock decides he really needs to pump McFoley up. So he actually opens this up, and you can just see out into the crowd. And Rock is just like, do you see all those people out there? All those people are out there to see the Rock and McFoley kick Evolution's ass. So let's go do that. And it was just so good. Just a cool, hyped up promo with some comedy again of the Hurricane and Rosie thing. I'll never get over that. They're like, go get some chicken McNuggets, just you fat slob or whatever. It's just like so stupid, so ridiculous. But that goes straight into the match. We go right into Evolution versus The Rock and Mick Foley. It was an okay match. There's nothing too crazy going on in this match. But I mean, it's The Rock, so you don't really need to do too much. The aura is already there. Right. But there was a really cool moment at the end where Rock and Sock Connection. Rock and Sock Connection finally really come together and have a nice moment in Madison Square Garden. Because if you look at the history of the Rock and Sock Connection, it was always Mick Foley wanting to be a tag team with The Rock, and The Rock just being like, dude, leave me the fuck alone. And somehow they win the tag titles and all this stuff. So, like, it was a cool moment to, at the time at least, kind of what I would imagine they both thought, kind of end both their careers. Obviously, that wasn't fully the case, but I would imagine at that time they probably thought they were both done. But it's also a cool, like, full circle moment for the Rock and Sock Connection to finally be friends, you know what I'm saying? Finally be together. So that was cool. The match was okay, but a really cool moment at the end there.
Yeah, I thought it was an alright match. I think really I was kind of expecting a little bit more because I feel like there are a lot of big name people in this match.
Yeah.
So I kind of, especially with it being like a handicap match, I was really kind of hoping for a little more shenanigans with that and stuff like that. But it was an alright match, you know. I'm not too crazy on it.
Yeah, it exists.
It exists. It's not the worst match, but it's certainly not the best.
We have the Hall of Fame induction ceremony next. And my only note here is thinking about how small the Hall of Fame is now. Because, like, this year, you had AJ Styles, Stephanie McMahon, Demolition, Bad News Brown, Psycho Sid, and Dennis Rodman. That's 6 people. The Hall of Fame class of 2004 here was Don Morocco, Superstar Billy Graham, Jesse the Body Ventura, Junkyard Dog, Sergeant Slaughter, Big John Studd, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Bobby Heenan, Harley Race, and Tito Santana. There was 10 people that went into the Hall of Fame here. God, I can only imagine how long that actual ceremony was. But yeah, we just have a quick moment here with the Hall of Fame where they bring everybody out like they always do to get their flowers. Yeah, pretty stacked Hall of Fame though. There's a lot of big names in that Hall of Fame class. But also, I guess if this is the 20th year of WrestleMania, maybe you know, say they wanted to beef it up a little bit and put some heavy hitters in there. Yeah. Next up, we have the Theo's favorite match, the evening gown match.
Nope. Don't put shit like that out there.
Between Tori Wilson and Sable versus Jackie and Stacy Keibler. All right. So, my first note here is why? Why does this exist?
Of course.
This is my breakdown of me watching this match. Okay. So at first I go, why? Why does this have to happen? And then I go, oh shit, Tori Wilson. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep. Then I go, oh shit, Stacy Keibler. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Then I said, when Sable gets on the mic and decides, nah, I don't want this to be evening gown match. We're just gonna wrestle on our bra and panties. I put, hold up, we might be cooking. We might be cooking. There was a commentary line, I believe, by Taz, where he says something about that wasn't my pencil, and that also just popped the fuck out of me. I think Michael Cole said something like, dude, you just stabbed me with your pencil, and he's like, no, that wasn't my pencil. And my last note here is this is at Madison Square Garden, by the way. Like, this is happening at Madison Square Garden, which is wild.
Right.
Yeah, this is absolutely nothing. It's just literally them rolling around in their bra and panties. So, as a wrestling fan, I can care less. As a man who likes women, I am slightly intrigued. I'm sure as a kid this did numbers for my female wrestling crush between Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler, because I love both of them. I thought they were both so beautiful, which they are, obviously. And as a kid, I probably also should not have been watching this, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, this just exists.
This was definitely, for me, I was far more entertained by what was happening on commentary than anything. I don't even think I was watching. I was just listening more than anything, because I was just like, Taz and Michael Cole were just giving like the best fucking commentary. I'm so glad they were on this, and not Lawler and King, or Lawler and Ross, because like that would have been far worse in my opinion.
It would have been just perverted Jerry Lawler the whole time.
Right, Taz gives the best quote unquote puppies of all time.
Yep.
Michael Cole be like, Affirmative. I don't know why I wrote that, but that doesn't seem all too inaccurate. I don't need this match. I just need Michael Cole and Taz doing shits and giggles on commentary. I think that's entirely true always, but especially for matches like these and just fun matches in general, I think they just add a whole other layer to just make it far more entertaining and funny. And then my final note here, I noticed a bit of lack of nightgowns in this nightgown match. I don't think Playboy will be too happy about that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they were pissed.
Yeah.
Next up here, we have the Cruiserweight Open Invitational for the Cruiserweight Championship.
This shit cooked.
The champion, Chavo Guerrero versus Akio versus Billy Kidman versus Funaki versus Jamie Noble versus Nunzio versus Rey Mysterio versus Shannon Moore versus Tajiri versus Ultimo Dragon. Yeah.
This match was stacked.
Yeah.
Half my notes are just me being like, this person, that person, what? They're here too?
Yeah, my first note here is time to cook. Let's cook, boys. My second note here is Akio is missing a cowboy hat.
This is 100% true. I noticed that as well. Where's his cowboy hat?
Ultimo Dragon, Ultimo Aura is what his name should have been.
Yep.
As a kid, I always loved his gear. He just looked so cool. Billy Kidman's goat ass theme song, of course. Speaking of the GOAT, Rey Mysterio coming out with that sick ass Flash gear.
That shit was nice. Good. That shit was nice.
Good.
Yep.
Billy Kidman's shooting star press to the outside where he almost dies.
That shit was crazy. Fucking run off the fucking top rope.
Yeah. Insane. Almost died. I have a note about Taz, but it just says Taz, so I don't remember what it's about. And Chavo wins. He retains the championship. And I just put freaky ass theme because he just has like this so weird sexual theme song. It's just very weird.
Right.
But overall, these guys cooked. They didn't get a lot of time, but for the time that they had, they cooked. They went crazy.
Yeah, it was probably maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes tops or something like that. Right. It wasn't really too long, but they definitely cooked for sure. I'm shocked Kidman didn't die off that shooting star press. I thought he was down now for sure after that.
Yeah.
When Billy Kidman got eliminated, I wrote down, good run, BK Joe, go get your check. Let's see. Handspring into the kick was nasty. I don't even know who did that, but I mean, that could have honestly been anybody. Right. In all caps, no Akio. I'm assuming Akio. That's when Akio got spit by Tajiri. Yeah. What the fuck is this? Over Robinson on the senior? What the fuck does that even mean?
It's probably a dive. Somebody probably did a dive over Charles Robinson.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, I get it. And then my final note here: Akio never technically lost. He could still beat Chavo for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, sure, man, totally. This is like a one-time WrestleMania for a lot of these guys. I'm pretty sure Akio maybe not, because I'm sure he was probably in some battle royal or something like that.
Yeah, he was probably in a battle royal.
Funaki, Jamie Noble, Nunzio, Shannon Moore, and Ultimo Dragon. Those guys, this may be their only WrestleMania appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun match. Speaking of not fun matches, though, next up, we got the dream match that disappointed on all fronts. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar.
You mean the man that just got retired this past weekend?
This is true. I could. People originally were going to be super excited for this match again. This would be like a dream match, seeing like WCW's Beast versus WWE's Beast. However, these two idiots done fuck shit up because both of them made it very clear before this match that they were both leaving WWE. So nobody gave a fuck. We didn't care. So yeah, I just put well-deserved chants because the crowd was just chanting
W chants. Yep.
Right. All sorts of fucking stupid shit because these guys were leaving. Yeah, there's nothing. I just put yep at the end of the match here because I'm like, yeah, this is just it went as expected. Just very disappointing. I will say it did pop the fuck out of me in the beginning of the match. The crowd was chanting, like, fuck these guys or whatever, and Goldberg, looking at Brock Lesnar, just goes, fuck these motherfuckers, and that just popped the fuck out of me. Like he was pissed. He was just pissed. But yeah, it just exists.
Yeah, I kind of have the same notes here. More of my notes honestly have to do with the entrances more than anything else, which tells you a lot about this match.
Mm.
My first note is, remember when Austin hit that woman in the crowd with his ATV? People will never forget.
Yeah.
And then my next note is, Brock with no pyro is pathetic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, So Cold was the referee here.
Mm-hmm. Who didn't really do much of anything really until like
right
after the match when he just stunned everybody.
My body just decides to have a yawn attack while we start recording the podcast, apparently.
Right, of course.
Yeah, no, I do like at the end he did stun both Goldberg and Lesnar. Shout out to them, because I would have thought at least Goldberg would have not been rocking with that, but
right.
Goldberg took the stunner and rolled out and was never seen again until like 2017, and Brock shared a beer with him and then also took a stunner and wasn't seen again until like 2012. So, yeah, man, it just exists. I feel like there was something else that I wanted to say, but yeah, it's just there. It's
there.
Just there.
It's one of the matches.
Right. Next up, we have the SmackDown tag titles here in the same match for the Raw tag titles, the World tag titles. Too Cool versus World's Greatest Tag Team versus the Basham Brothers versus APA. Too Cool's theme song, always gonna hit. Turn it up, turn it up, boom jump, boom jump, boom jump, boom jump. Just a banger theme song. Bradshaw, good old Bradshaw. This is like right before he becomes JBL, because he's got the haircut.
Right, he's got the short hair, but he's still rocking with APA, so it's like right there.
Yeah, so this is right before he becomes JBL instead of just Bradshaw. Yeah, this is just another match. It's better. I think this is probably better than the World Tag Title match, but it also isn't anything too crazy. It does just kind of exist. Too Cool gets a cool moment because I think they retain the tag titles. They get their dance off at the end, their WrestleMania moment, getting to do the Too Cool dance at the end, which is cool. Fun fact about this that has to do with your family, actually, which is very random. I remember this super clearly. For Christmas one year, your parents got me a 2-pack of Too Cool from WrestleMania 20. Which
That's
is it's just a random fun fact, but when I saw Too Cool come out, I was like, yeah, I remember. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, because I remember what it looked like and everything. I don't know if you have any notes for this match, but
I honestly have like no notes for this match. I just put yeah, sure. I just thought this was just another match. I really was not vibing with it. The dance was fun. That's what I'll give it.
Right. Come on, where we at? Come on. I can't find it. Oh wait.
Maybe it was a fake memory.
No, it's real.
Doesn't seem like it's real. You can't find it.
There it is. Got it. There's a 2-pack. And it came with the tag titles. And I remember, weirdly, I don't know what happened to that Rikishi figure, but that Scotty 2 Hotty figure, bro, I had that figure for years and years and years. Like, up until maybe like 5 years ago, I got rid of that figure. So, yeah, just a cool little thing, having that figure and whatnot. There's a vignette here announcing the return of Edge. And I just put here, I'm excited to see Edge come back.
Can't wait.
Right. Here's another segment that you did not see, because we had to talk about this because it is so out there. Jesse Ventura comes back out. I put the man. The man is here. Jesse the Body. Great inside joke between us. There you go. There you go. There he is.
Jesse the Body Ventura. In the fucking shadows for some reason.
Yeah. So he comes out here and he's got a mic and he's yapping away. And Lord Almighty, I mean, I have seen this WrestleMania, but I did not remember this segment at all. The 1,000 times I've seen this WrestleMania, I did not remember this at all, because it was not necessarily as relevant, and probably something that when I was a kid and I was watching this WrestleMania, I was probably playing with my wrestling figures during this and not paying attention. So Jesse Ventura comes out. He's got a mic. He's yapping away, yapping away, yapping away. You could not give me $1,000 to predict what was going to happen next year because it is so fucking insane. He comes out and he says, WrestleMania 20. I wanna come out here and talk to somebody who's been to multiple WrestleManias, somebody that's a hero of New York, a legend of New York. And who does it pan over to? I'm sitting there thinking, maybe this is a New York Yankee. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is, someone else from, like, the Knicks or something. But who does it pan over to? None other than our current president of the United States, Donald Trump. Which had me, I let my notes go, holy fucking shit, I'm dying of laughter. Because, A, it's just random, but obviously Donald Trump's been around. He was at WrestleMania 3. He was at WrestleMania 23 involved in a match. So Donald Trump being around WWE is not too crazy. But the idea that Jesse Ventura is the one interviewing him because Jesse Ventura cannot fucking stand this man and has had multiple interviews where he just runs this man down with good reason. It's just hilarious to me that Jesse Ventura is like interviewing Donald Trump. Jesse Ventura says, Trump, I think in 2008, it's time that a pro wrestler is in the White House. So this is obviously predicting he ends up becoming the governor of California, which is that little figure that you just showed there.
Yep.
But this is him kind of predicting his government kind of run. But obviously he was going to run for president. And he goes, Trump, if I were to run for president in 2008, would you support me? And Donald Trump goes, financially and mentally, you have my support. Which is, again, even funnier, man. It's just so hilarious. Yeah, that's kind of how this whole segment ends. Just this clearly was just Jesse Ventura trying to, like, stir up some talk about him becoming possible president of the United States in 2008, which did not happen because President Barack Obama was elected in 2008. But yeah, just a wild fucking segment, dog. Just so wild to see that happen. But next up we have the women's championship match here. We have Victoria versus Molly Holly with the stipulation that if Molly Holly loses, she has to have her head shaved. I only have one note here, and it's just Victoria has aura, man. When she walked out on stage, she just looks so cool. She ends up winning, and Molly Holly loses, so then Molly Holly has to have her head shaved, which is a whole thing. They show the whole thing. She's getting her head shaved. Even into the next match, they cut back to her still getting her head shaved. Yeah, I don't know if you have any other notes, but that's kind of all I had.
I have two notes. I said, JR,
yeah,
you need to smack this man next to you upside the head. He has not said a single fucking thing about this match. He just keeps talking about panties.
Of course.
And then the second thing I wrote was all caps, off with her hair.
All right, nice. Yeah, it's just another match that just kind of exists, but with a fun stipulation. Our next match here, my first note for this next match is it's time to put your working shoes on, boys, because it's Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship. To me, this should have been the main event. I feel like this definitely should have been the main event of this whole show. And I put here, my other note is that the crowd was on fucking fire for everything these guys were doing, man. The crowd loved everything. Great match. Fire finish, dude. I love the finish with Eddie.
Yes, the finish is so good.
Eddie undoing his boot because he was in the ankle lock, so he undoes his boot because his ankle, could be swollen or something like that. Kurt goes to put the ankle lock back in. He's got the boot that's loose. Eddie slides out of the boot. Kurt will what happened? He goes to grab Eddie. The craziest small package ever. They took a bump off this small package. It was wild. And Eddie gets the 1-2-3 with the sneaky small package. Great finish, bro. Fits so well for Eddie Guerrero's character.
Yes.
While still making Kurt not look super weak because he takes a clean finish. So good, dude. So good. Incredible match. Yeah. Again, I think this. I don't know if this was the main event, if it should have ended on a kind of fucky finish like that at WrestleMania, but this match-wise, this match should have been the main event.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these two cooked. This is Definitely, in my opinion, the best match on the entire card here.
Yeah.
I mean, before I would say that. After watching the event, I would say that. I have written down here just in all caps, oh yeah. The American flag on the stage while Kurt is coming out like on like the floor, like the digital floor and whatnot. I thought that was super sick. I wrote down what I would pay to get a haircut while my goat does his entrance right in front of me. Because I think they were still doing the haircut segment when Kurt Angle was coming out and whatnot.
Yep.
The truck lowrider Fuego, that shit was clean as hell. I liked that truck a lot. I fucking love technical wrestling. This is true. I love technical wrestling. It's always awesome. I think these two are incredibly good at it. Amazing finish, amazing match, easily the best match on the card. Just incredible wrestling.
Yeah, it's good. It's good shit. Such
good shit.
Our semi-main event here, The Undertaker versus Kane. I enjoyed the story of this, that Kane killed his brother.
Yeah.
And then was tormented by the idea that his brother may come back to haunt him. I remember I had Royal Rumble 2004 on DVD, which is the Rumble where Benoit wins. It's the Rumble for this year. I remember Kane comes out. Is so good. Kane comes out, and he's in the Rumble for a little bit, and then an entrance, like a next entrant comes in, and the gong goes off, and the lights go out, and the crowd goes fucking insane, and Kane is losing his fucking mind, just like no, and then Spike Dudley is the actual entrant and has to walk out. Like it's not played as like Spike Dudley pulled a prank. It's not that. It's
right.
Undertaker was fucking with Kane. It just so happened that it was during Spike's entrance, so Spike has to come out. Poor Spike, because Kane gets out of the ring and just choke slams him on the metal stage, on the metal ramp. Poor
God.
guy. And I think Kane had gotten eliminated. Before that, I think Kane gets eliminated because he's distracted by the idea of his brother coming back, gets eliminated, and then goes and chokeslams Spike. So yeah, I know this story because I've seen the story. I love the story of him being haunted by the idea of his dead brother. When Kane came out, the city on the stage being on fire was such a
that
good
shit
shot.
was so fucking cool.
So good.
That was so cool. I loved that. Yeah.
Yeah. Paul Bearer comes back. It's the first time we'd seen him in years. He makes his return. Taker's got a crazy entrance with the Druids holding flaming poles, whatever they are.
The torches. Yeah.
Right. And my other note here, because the match was okay. It was okay match.
Mm-hmm.
The Druids, they almost ruined this shit because clearly these are just extras that they got. And these motherfuckers, if you look at them, there are motherfuckers that are just like laughing underneath the hoods. And like just ruining the whole moment because they just can't take it seriously. But I will say it was also funny because there were some Druids that they're holding these giant poles that are on fire. And like you could see some of them, the fire is like, there's like fire dripping off of them. As well as these guys are wearing long, giant black robes. So it was a very caution-heavy situation here. And you can see some of these Druids, when you can see their faces, they're fucking scared, bro. Yeah. They're terrified that this shit is going to catch them on fire with good reason. Good reason. But I did notice there were a couple of Druids that were just like laughing during this whole entrance. I'm like, dude, you can't fucking do that shit, bro. Especially not during Undertaker's entrance, bro. You can't be fucking laughing, you know? But yeah, the match was just okay. The story was there, but yeah, the match is just okay. Nothing too special. Nothing too crazy. This was the return, though, of The Undertaker, and not because he had been the American Badass up before this. So
right.
This is like
the
Phenom.
The
official, right. This is the official return of the Dead Man, we should say.
Yeah.
To the WWE, which is cool. Yeah. I don't know if you have any other notes.
No, I mean you pretty much covered it. I think the match was just all right. I think this is definitely a far more story heavy thing. The video package for it was definitely really good. Really got me invested in the match and whatnot. The entrances, both the entrances were incredible. I didn't notice anybody laughing, but maybe that was just on my end. Maybe I just didn't notice that or anything like that. But I thought both the entrances were still pretty cool. And, I mean, it's obviously always good to get The Undertaker back, especially for WrestleMania. So it was good.
Yeah. All right, our main event, the forbidden main event. We have the World Heavyweight Championship. World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Chris Benoit versus Triple H versus HBK. My first note is, yeah, this hits, bro. This match is great. These guys beat each other's ass.
At first, I wasn't getting too much into it, but then as it went on and on and on, I was like, okay, this is starting to get real good shit here. Yeah.
Right. White Boots Triple H is wild. It's like the one-time appearance of Triple H in the white boots.
I hated it. I was like,
I love the white boots.
This is not it. No, I can't do it.
HBK bleeding like a fucking stuffed pig. Oh my god, just blood everywhere,
dude. Crazy bleeder to this guy, bro.
Yeah. And then Triple H was also bleeding. And I put here everyone gigging, which is not true because Chris Benoit does not bleed in this match.
It's true.
But Triple H and Shawn Michaels do, and they both bleed. Oh, it makes me queasy just thinking about it. They both bleed like insane. I wonder what the like. I'm trying. Back then, there definitely wasn't, but now, like bleeding now is kind of rare. Cody did it at Mania, but it's pretty rare. But I wonder if they still were letting wrestlers like bleed like this. I wonder what the protocol would be, because I'm sure there would be some like protocol to where you have to have like fluids ready for them when they come back. Like that definitely wasn't a thing back then, but now I'm sure they would have a thing where there's like IV bags of fluids and all this stuff ready to go. Because, bro, I don't know how these motherfuckers do it, bro. You lose a shit ton of blood while physically exerting yourself. I don't know how Triple H and Shawn Michaels didn't just immediately pass out the moment they got back through the curtain. Because, yeah, it's just insane, bro. It's just wild. With these guys,
they honestly might have. We really don't know. It honestly, with how much blood they lost, I honestly would expect that more than anything else.
Right. Yeah, man. And there was a great moment at the end. Chris Benoit wins, and him and Eddie Guerrero have a really incredible moment to end WrestleMania, where they're kind of hugging and celebrating because obviously these guys were best friends, and both of them had the championships of the company. So it was a really cool way to end WrestleMania. Obviously, it's sad that we can't even mention this now because of what happened. Obviously, we have to because it's the review. But I'm just saying, like, WWE will never mention that again. That'll never be a thing that they talk about because of Benoit. But in general, it was a great match and a great moment to end WrestleMania. If you kind of take that out of the equation, I don't know if you have any other notes for this, but.
No, it was a great finish. There was a pretty good video package for it as well. I think a lot of the video package for these matches did pretty well in hyping up the actual match itself, which helps. I'm still against the white boots. I didn't like it at all. The bleeding was something I also mentioned. It was a pretty good table spot. I do remember the table spot. That was really, really nice.
Yeah.
I don't remember who did it. Somebody did some sort of dive, and I don't even know if it was a dive or it was just something, but I just wrote down R.I.P. cameraman because I'm pretty sure some cameraman really got hit there and knocked over.
Yeah.
But, I wrote down that it was a pretty good match. Love seeing Triple H tap.
Yeah.
Just for me personally, I just like seeing that. But, yeah, good end to the show.
Yeah. All right, it's time for Kyle's fun facts here. Every time we review a WrestleMania, I love to
we got to know
the facts. So my first fact here, one future WWE Superstar, future WWE Divas Champion, future WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, AJ Lee was in the crowd at this WrestleMania, and she said this was where she really, obviously she was a wrestling fan, but being at this WrestleMania is where she decided she wanted to become a professional wrestler. So this WrestleMania was very influential in us getting AJ Lee as a professional wrestler. She said her and her dad, they had they went, and they didn't have a lot of money. I read her book and all this stuff, but she said even with the little money, her dad saved up some money. And this is before, obviously, the internet was a thing. You could buy tickets online, but they went the day that WrestleMania 20 tickets were put on sale. They went to Madison Square Garden and slept overnight to be in line so that they can buy tickets so that AJ can go to WrestleMania, which I think is an incredible thing for her dad to do and whatnot. So yeah, AJ Lee was in the crowd. She was in the cheap seats, I believe, but she was there, and it was very influential in her deciding to become a professional wrestler. Brock Lesnar decided 12 days before WrestleMania to announce that he would be leaving the WWE, which we talked about. During that match, the fans were chanting, "Fuck these guys, goodbye," all this stuff. The funniest of facts that I could find here for this is that one Shane McMahon, I guess, felt the same way as the fans, and actually went out into the crowd and started chanting with the fans. So that popped the fuck out of me.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he was chanting all the chants with the fans in the crowd.
That's so great.
Clearly, Shane was very unhappy with how that went down, which I would be too.
Very fair, yeah, 100%.
Molly Holly's head shave, which is wild. This all came to be. She sacrificed her hair because when she found out originally that because this is very Vince in the 2000s, there was no women's championship match on WrestleMania. The only women's match was going to be the evening gown match. There would be no women's championship match. Molly Holly said, that's bullshit. And so she volunteered to have her head shaved so that the women could have a women's title match on WrestleMania. To which then Vince said, okay, sure. So credit to her being willing to take the bullet so that the women could get some representation outside of just being in their underwear in the middle of the ring. Right. So yeah, good on Molly Holly. She seems like she's just a great person. Yes. Paul Bearer comes back. Obviously, we talked about that. When they approached him to do this, he was very hesitant because he had gained a ton of weight. And he's already a bigger dude, but him being off the road and whatnot, he had gained a ton of weight and just said, he originally kind of said no because he just thought he would be embarrassed to show up looking the way that he did. So the way that they were able to get him on board was that they said, hey, if you do this, and they were going to bring him back, I guess, for good. They're like, if you sign this contract to come back at Mania and come back for a run, we will put in your contract that we will pay for you to get liposuction, which is wild. But I guess that's why he did it, so he didn't have to pay probably like $100,000 to get like the weight loss surgery.
Right.
So yeah, that's why he came back. John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista. This was all their first WrestleManias. This is literally all three of them their first WrestleMania. So this is a very big WrestleMania for, at the time, what was the future of professional wrestling. Because obviously three of those guys are three of the biggest names in the 2000s and 2010s, especially with Orton and Cena.
Right.
Yeah, so that's pretty wild that it was all three of their first WrestleManias. The barber that was there for the women's match, apparently was Vince McMahon's actual personal hairdresser. Like, that was his actual barber that decided
great
to come do that. Which
Hell yeah.
was great. Kurt Angle, good old Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist, broke his neck in this match at WrestleMania 20.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was when they did like either they did an angle slam or just like a superplex off the top rope. I guess the way he landed, he legitimately broke his neck and then wrestled for like another 15 minutes with a broken freaking neck.
That's my goat. That's my
yeah,
goat.
Crazy.
I mean, obviously, don't do that, but
right.
like, go.
Yeah, so that's how. If you remember, like for a while, Kurt Angle was like the GM of SmackDown for a little bit and all this stuff.
Yeah.
This is why was because he broke his neck and needed to rest, and I guess they still wanted to use him, so that's why he kind of went on that run. Yeah, he had a broken freaking neck. And my last note here was that online, when tickets went on sale, they sold out in 3 minutes, which is also wild. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Especially because, like now, obviously now the ticket prices are insane. But say the ticket prices were normal. I'm sure that WrestleMania would still sell out super fast and all this stuff if ticket prices were normal. But it shows like back then, because wrestling was still in like a niche. Like now it's so mainstream, right? We talk about all these celebrities are coming through, and then you go watch, the Oscars and Bianca Belair's like in the crowd at the Oscars or at the Olympics. Like it's everywhere. Wrestling is mainstream. But back then, wrestling was still like its own little corner pocket, and it's like this is still for like the weirdos and the freaks to love. So the fact that it sold out in 3 minutes is really impressive for where wrestling was, But yeah, that was my last note. Overall, fun WrestleMania.
Fun facts.
It was a good time. I feel like there definitely could have been a little bit more, maybe like one more match that was just like a really solid wrestling match. But overall, I thought it was still a fun Mania. Really fun, like anniversary-esque thing. Like we said, the 20th WrestleMania, the 20th year. So seeing all those legends come back was really cool. Seeing legends that were involved in matches and stuff, it just overall was a really fun time and like a really nostalgic kind of like look back on WWE's like first 20 years, you know?
Yeah, for sure. This was definitely super, super fun. I'd say overall, I'd just say it's a fun Mania. I'm not going to say it's one of the best Manias ever, but it's certainly not one of the worst by far. This is definitely up there for sure. Maybe top 10 or somewhere around there. But still very, very fun.
I wouldn't say it's the best, but it is really fun. It's hard to match up with 17, bro. 17 was so insane. And as we continue on, there are some WrestleManias that are just really enjoyable, really fun. But this one is definitely up there. It's in the top 20 for sure of WrestleManias.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, I can't wait to get to the next WrestleMania. I really like that one.
WrestleMania 21 goes
WrestleMania
Hollywood.
21.
WrestleMania goes Hollywood.
That's a fun one.
It is. All right. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to WNRN, our gracious podcast hosts. Y'all can see, normally we do these in person, but we're on Riverside. It's a little weird here. We weren't able to film this month, so we're going to have to film these like week by week on Riverside. But I guess this is May's episode. June's episode, we should be back. We should be back together in person like we normally are. So the next 4 episodes are going to be like this, but after that, we should be back to being with each other. So yeah, we appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all next week.